Well, hello there to my Aries. This is Queen Amun coming to you with your general reading. My first housers. Aries, you all rule first house. This is Queen Amun coming to you with your general reading, Aries. Happy Monday. Happy motivational Monday to you all, Aries. Hopefully you all had a great weekend, or at least a peaceful weekend, if nothing else, if you have a peaceful weekend. Let's get into it, Aries. Let's get into it. We have two planets that are currently retrograde. Jupiter is the planet of good luck, good fortune. You want to count your blessings, even the stuff that people take for granted, like, waking up. Write that down. The more and more you focus on what you're grateful for, it's going to push all that other stuff out, right? The negativity, all that stuff out, right? So focus on a posture of being in a posture of gratitude. And then Uranus is also retrograde. That's the Fool card. So you're not trying to people make you look like a fool by saying, oh, they're trying to compare their life to yours. Hey, you know what? Yeah, well, so again, you just pray for them and keep it moving, right? So you're entering into a high momentum window between the 19th and the 29th of January 2026, Aries. This spread is going to reveal what you're releasing, what's shifting in your love and money, and also the exact action that you need to take to unlock your next level. So expect major clarity, confidence, upgrades, and a powerful new beginning that puts you back in control. All right. Prayer warrior. The cycle is over. Move forward. Right. Yeah, cycle is over. Talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart, including if Aries is your Chiron, okay? Chiron is the scapegoat planet. When people try to make you a scapegoat for things and they're not showing compassion towards you, or whatever the case may be, hey, look, pray for them and keep it moving. You got stuff to do, right? You're inspiring and you're motivating people, and people trying to make you the scapegoat for stuff. Hey, listen. Next, here we have Ace of Cups. You have an overflow of abundance. Overflow of compassion for people. So somebody could have Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio in their birth chart. Only way you would know that is to please pull your birth chart. I do birth chart readings, all of that. My calendar is back open. We're in Aquarius season officially. The moon is in Aquarius, and we're in Aquarius season. You have an abundance of compassion for people, right? When the cycle is over, just move on. You're putting the flame out. You're like, hey, listen, somebody wants to, keep going back over and over and over again. Hey, maybe somebody is purging. Challenge is, this is right here. You're praying for people. You have the spirit of a loved one who has transitioned. So people don't really know what to expect when you walk in a room. They don't really know what to gauge from whoever you are, right? They don't know if you're in survival mode, ready to pounce on something, or they don't know whether you're a person who's a prayer warrior, right? And it could be just because of your physical appearance, your stature, right? But get used to being a prayer warrior. That actually works. It's going to work for literally everybody. Everybody's prayer life is going to increase one way or the other in 2026, because Mars is not retrograde in 2026. So whatever you pray to, deity, your prayer life, is increasing. You have an overflow of compassion. So yeah. All right. So yeah, this right here, and it's just flowing on through. I'm telling you, once you stay on your throne, it's almost like it's water under the bridge for somebody. It's like, hey, you on your throne, like think about you being a bridge, right? Being a bridge, right? You're trying to bridge the gap. You're saying, okay, I'm sitting at this table with these energies. I have an abundance of a social circle, right? This could be 10 of Cups. You could have, this could be your Pisces. This could be your calling in life, your 10th house, right? And this connects us with Pisces. Your 10th house could be in Pisces, and you could be a bridge between a lot of people. So something is like, hey, you know what? You're going along with sources flow. You're going to let people believe what they want to believe as far as you're concerned, whoever you are, Aries. You're like, hey, you have an abundance of something. And in this right here, you have an abundance of compassion, whoever you are, for energies. Compassion enough to say, hey, the cycle is over. I'm just moving forward. Right? I'm sitting on my throne, taking my place on my throne. You have the same spirit of a loved one who has transitioned over. They could have been in the military. They could have been in some kind of service, to their community. But this is reminding a whole lot of people as to they're just humanitarian side of themselves. Like I said, Aquarius is a humanitarian zodiac sign. It can be reminding you of that, right? The recent past is that people really, really baited you into something, right? Baited you into being in survival mode and said they would have your back. But guess what? They didn't. So you decided, hey, you're getting on your throne. You're getting on your throne. Not because you're being impatient, but because you saw a pattern of behavior. Okay? You saw a pattern of behavior. Take people too long. You know, for them, they may, oh, you should have given me some more time. But you're saying, no, it's a reason why you took as long as you took. I'm starting to see a pattern of behavior here. This is a Leo. Could be a Leo that said they were going to stand behind you. But you're starting to see a pattern of behavior. And you said, no, you're fine. Something is water under the bridge. You're moving on. You have an abundance of compassion. Because somebody is now hearing or seeing something that they didn't know, right? You're seeing or hearing something that you didn't know. So you being around a table of people that your chosen family, they're sharing stuff with you. They're pouring into you an abundance of information. Like, hey, look at this. Watch this. Listen to this. Have some compassion for a situation because this mirrors you. Basically, this mirrors your life, right? So the letter J could be of significance, right? You learn how to save yourself, right? It could be of significance, but in numerology, it connects us with the number 10 and it connects us with the number 1. You are independent. 1 is an independent number. You know how to stand on your own. It's an independent number, right? And you actually add to people's worth. When you think about whenever you add zeros behind a number, it expands that number. It adds to the value of that number. So think about $8. And put a zero behind, that's $80. Another zero, 800. Another zero, 8,000. Right? Y'all took math in school. Anyway, so it's sort of saying you've learned how to move on from certain things because as you're sitting around a group of people who are basically like, this mirrors your life, this mirrors your story, an abundance of an abundance of compassion, overflowing compassion. You're like, you know what? I can't pour from my own cup. I cannot pour from my own cup, right? You can hold space, but you can't pour from you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So somebody is now saying this something mirrors your whole life. Like, so these group of people right here are saying, hey, have compassion for this one person who is just like by themselves. You have compassion. Slow down for a second because they're trying to teach you how to live a softer life. So they could have an abundance of compassion. You can have an abundance of friends. Another person can have abundance of money. Another person can have abundance of love, right? Y'all all get together, a bunch of givers getting together. Hey, y'all in sending and receiving mode. We're always in sending and receiving mode. It's a win-win for everybody sitting at the table. But somebody wanted one energy away from everybody and didn't want to show some compassion towards me. And you have an abundance like, hey, I got so much compassion in me. I got some for you, right? That's you right there. So you said something is water under the bridge. You done moved on. This you right here. You done moved on from talking about certain things. Talking about people like, oh, they oversharing, they just spilling everything, right? So something is going to happen fast for you because source, as you all say, y'all are impatient, but something is going to happen fast for you just because the joke is on the energy who's sitting around a group of people who didn't want to show compassion for just one energy, really. So that spell work was sent back, whether they realize it or not, because they're like, okay, gosh, y'all lives mirror each other. You can't even have compassion for, but you want somebody to have compassion for you, but you can't have compassion for them. Like, wow, right? 5 of Cups here. You can put the past behind you. You had one last cry, and that was it. You had a sixth sense about something, right? And so all you needed to do was see something for yourself to say, wow, okay. Somebody's one person who was ostracized, isolated, sent into solitude, right? Their whole life mirrors every single person who's sitting at this table, right? And now people want to smooth things over. This could be you. People could want to smooth things over with you because they wanted you out the job. They wanted you out of the friendship. They want you out of the circle, right? But then as you started opening up and showing compassion for these people sitting at this table, they're all saying like, dang, that sounds like my life. I'm talking to you whoever Aries is in your birth chart, especially if Aries is your Chiron, because that's where people were making you the scapegoat. Once you started working on your Chiron, and remember my readings are speaking to your entire birth chart, right? Not just your sun, moon, rising, Venus. Those are personal planets. I'm speaking to your social planets, your collective planets, and your personal planets, right? Also in bridging all of this. So I'm speaking to every placement where Aries is in your birth chart. If your Chiron was Aries, you were probably isolated because of an overflow of compassion for people. You were an overgiver, right? But now you're learning how to pour into yourself so much that when you're around a group of people, you'll know exactly who at that table is draining your energy. And you'll have compassion for them, but guess what? You'll be nice enough to say, hey, I need to remove myself. I have a sixth sense about certain, I need to remove myself, because this one energy could drain literally everybody, could drain all of your everything. They can literally drain everything from you. So you learn how to pray for people. You really learn how to just pray for people, right? Even if that means you praying by yourself. So you can put the past behind you completely and be more conservative with your time. Yeah, you don't have to go back to crying about stuff anymore. Something has really raised your emotional awareness and your emotional intelligence about just being around people that you pray for. Like, I prayed for this, I prayed for this. But you can really start being a lot more selective with who you share. Like, be more discerning. I'm looking at in your cards here. Be more discerning. Start thinking people oversharing. They could be crying out for help, asking for somebody, one person, show them some compassion, right? Yeah. So somebody is now going back to being confused at all. When people start sharing, like, oh my God, they sharing too much. Until they tiptoe down your street and start sharing something that mirrors your life, and you're like, oh my God, right? So somebody's learning how to have compassion for the person who is that one, seemed like an outsider, that people that take a scapegoat for everything in the whole family. That one person, like something started with one person in the family, right? So you learn how to push spell work right back. You learn how to push spell work right back just by pouring. This is how you're going to start living a softer life. That's how you sending the spell work back. You're rising above it. You're just praying for people, and say somebody could be oversharing and things are flowing. Flowing like a levee broke. Things are just started flowing. You said, let me get to a higher frequency, right? And let me just start praying. Prayer answered. Somebody woke up from a nightmare, just like you woke up from a nightmare, just like all these people at the table woke up from a nightmare, right? Just because one person showed compassion, somebody who was not sitting at that table showed compassion for everybody at that table, right? This right here, teaching everybody how to save themselves. That's all it was. All it took was for somebody to work on their Chiron. That was it. To tell everybody at the table how to save themselves, right? So keep in mind, when you're moving to a softer life, that's a transference of energy, right? So you trying to move into a softer life, it's going to be hard for some other people to adjust to you living a softer life. That means sometimes, Aries, you're going to be like, I can't come, right? Something's not that deep for you, right? You learn how to pray for people who are in a poisonous environment. This is where you're not running to drama, right? For the 7 deadly sins. Oh, this person is glutton. They're going to eat themselves to death, right? Or this person, they're going to smoke or drink themselves to death. You learn how to get on your throne and pray for people. Oh, they're going to lust themselves to death. We're talking about the 7 deadly sins. I have this information on my second channel. It's a knowledge channel. You're learning how to teach people how to banish that energy. And I have that information on my second channel as well as the knowledge channel. Queen Amun Ra knowledge channel. But yeah, they are short videos in how to identify the 7 deadly sins and how to banish them. Go check it out. Go check it out. You're just teaching people, hey, let me send you this video. Y'all not, what's interesting is if it's gluttony, like the Dr. Now on his which is very popular. I mean, he's a straight shooter. He tell people straight up, like, I know good and well, now come on now, right? But he's so direct that it really wakes people up. Like, come on. Yeah, but that's his specialty. That's what he's went to school with. He's trained in it. So we're not talking about being mean-spirited and rude, just saying, oh, a person, they just, eating too much, right? This person is a doctor. He's a medical doctor. He went to school for this. So he's not just saying, okay, hey, listen, I don't have time to play games with you. I can look at you and see what's going on here. But let's get some blood. Let's get some this and that, but let me get you some help. Like, let me help. This is what's going to help you, right? So he's not coming with just adding to people's problems until they break, until the levee breaks. So they get depressed and sad, and people wondering, are they okay, and all of this other stuff. They just sitting around the table talking about people being more toxic. He's actually offering some solutions. This is what can help you. So if somebody's planning to disrupt your money, it backfire. Heal people, just move differently, because you're getting ready to start sharing an abundance of resources. Okay, I have this information, I have this information, that information, right? Yeah, so sacral chakra cleanse. Yeah, you're purging all of those toxic, unhealthy, wounded. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. You want to be with a person who is compassionate enough. If you feel like, okay, well, hey, you know what? I'm just, well, I'm going to give up on life. My job isn't working out. This is not happening. That's not happening. You want to be around people that's going to be like, hey, you know what? Let me sit with you with a number. We're going to sit here with you make a phone call. Just like, you know, how people drive, when we talking about the, I forgot the name of his show. Y'all know who I'm talking about, Dr. Nell, right? I think it's My 600-Pound Life. I think that's the name of the show, right? So they'll usually have somebody to drive them to the facility, right? That person's driving them to the facility. You want somebody who's going to sit with you, who is not going to tell the whole world by your name. Oh, I was with so-and-so, like by your name, right? Because so many people have the same thing in common. You want one person, just one person, where their compassion flows. Even if they remove themselves from your life, because they're being kind enough to say, hey, they got to pour back into themselves too, right? So that's what somebody's learning. Yeah, somebody's learning how, hey, I don't want to be so impulsive and just walking away, from people. When I got one person at that table, you got 10 people sitting around a table, and all these people just toxic, just adding to your problems. But that one person who people are trying to ostracize are saying, oh, we don't want this one at the table. But that one person was there to say, take you to the doctor, make a phone call with you. That one person let you stay at their house. You know what I'm saying? Help you buy groceries, pay a bill. That one person that people are saying, oh, no, they not really compassionate. They faking compassion. So document your dreams day and night. Throat chakra cleanse. That's you telling your truth. Your bitter ex's lover wants you. I don't even know what that even means. Check your request list again. Somebody could have love coming across their path, because again, when you start moving into a softer life, you attract everything. Stuff that you want, stuff that you don't want. Money, people, places, and things. Let's just put it that way. Including people from your past who don't want to move forward. They want to move back into, they see a softer you taking a little longer to get your hair, nails, all that stuff done. If you're a guy, you're getting a haircut, whatever you're doing, you're taking a little bit longer to pour into you, right? Before you step through that portal out the house. Now, y'all already look fly when y'all come out the house, Aries. That's every Aries I've ever met. Y'all always got it together. Like, everybody looking at y'all like, how in the world you got this? You just putting it. That's just fire signs, I think, in general. Fire signs. There's you, Leo, and Sagittarius. Sagittarius always look like they're about to go on a travel. They're about to hop on a plane somewhere. Aries, y'all are just, all fire signs are incredibly smart. All of y'all look like y'all about to get on a runway somewhere. That's men and women. Just, I don't even know what. And people who are very comfortable in the fire in them, right? They really take great care in getting it together before they step out of the house. That's when you'll know. For some people, it's like, okay, some people are changing their style that other people don't know that they're changing a style, right? So people could be like, oh, I'm used to seeing them put it together. If a person's in between like fashion changes and saying, oh, hey, you know what, that worked for them in this age group, but now in this, they want to be more relaxed. Without you talking to that person or being familiar with them switching over to a change, it could look like they coming out the house looking like a vagabond. Like they just, hey, they don't even care about how they look, but they could be really trying to get settled into a new geographical area. They could be learning how to, like experiment with this and experiment with that. So it's a whole lot of layers to it, but you're learning how to treat yourself to a spa day. Some people are going to really feel some kind of way about you living a soft life, because you're the one that's paying for your own soft life. You're not even expecting other people to pay for your soft life, right? So yeah, some people gonna feel some kind of way. Well, why you got to do all that? Why you got to take so much time to, do all of this and that? Well, why not? Your third eye chakra is open, right? This is the oil that I make with rosemary oil. But yeah, so create the change that you want for you. You say you want to live a soft life. Some people are gonna feel like, okay, they're gonna try to make it harder for you to live a soft life. Y'all gonna learn how to whip out the sword. I can't sit next to you. You want me to come out the house looking a mess. You want me to be toxic. You want me to sit down and spend all my money on nothing, and I leave the conversation feeling empty. So you have the gift of deja vu. This is remembering the future. You already know how things are going to end when you're around certain energies. There's signs all around you. So yeah, you're going to be that's going to be part of your soft life. I'm telling y'all are incredibly creative sign. Incredibly. Think about some of your favorite artists that are Aries. And listen to their stories. Read their autobiographies. Read their books. Listen to some of the interviews. They was the first one to do this. They was the first one. That's just, hey, look, y'all rule first house for a reason. That's Aries. So don't let me brag on Aries today. But no, seriously, like people know, okay, Aries child is born. They're going to be the first one to do something. We don't know what it is, but they're going to be the first one to do something. So yeah, the cycle is over. You're moving forward. Here we have gratitude. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you, which is source wherever I go, right? So you're going to be just grateful. You're going to be grateful for people who take the time, but people thought, oh, they were just a crybaby. They just, every time you turn around, they talk about how the blood, sweat, and tears they put into stuff. Hey, you can be grateful when somebody tiptoe down your street and remind people of just how powerful Aries is, right? And how you impacted their life. So you're giving something some time, right? You're giving something some time. You're learning how to be more patient with yourself, right? And therefore being patient with other people. So the people who take the time to get themselves ready when they come out the house, you're going to be like, okay, well, I know when they come out the house, they're going to have it all together. They got everything they need. They didn't leave anything in the house. They don't have to worry about spinning back around and going back in the house. You're learning how to take some more time for yourself without allowing people to bully you, okay? Without allowing people to bully you. Why are you taking so time? When really they're talking about themselves, right? You're learning how to slow down. You're saying, okay, maybe you need to purge. Take some time to purge and do whatever you need to do because you're taking some time. You're taking some time for you. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. See you in the next video. Bye.